So sometimes it's just a matter of like one little setting, one little checkbox that completely changes everything. Well, we've got one such little box here in Lightroom today that's going to completely simplify your workflow. What's shakin' bacon? I'm Joni Simon. Welcome to my studio. This is where I do food photography, and the goal here is to improve your food photography skills so you can feel confident behind the camera. And today we're talking about a little file called an XMP file. But in order to make an XMP file make sense, what I first want to do is just walk you through my workflow of how I handle my images. So to help us out today, I am shooting this cake here with these fresh cherries on it, and I have my camera here tethered to my laptop. If you need help in learning how to shoot tethered, I've got a whole video about it down below, so be sure to check that out. So once I've got everything in place, I'm all locked and loaded, ready to get the shot, we go ahead and fire it. And then at that point, the image ends up in Lightroom. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make some initial edits. I'm just gonna play with it a little bit in Lightroom to make sure I'm 100% confident with it. Because, I don't know, maybe this has happened to you that you've taken a shot and you thought, oh, it looks really good on the camera, but then once you get it into Lightroom, you're like, oh, there's some things I would have changed. So this is where I just make those minor tweaks so I feel 100% confident with the image. And then at that point, because I put so much work into making this cake, I'm not gonna just get the one shot, right? We're gonna take some different angles, we're gonna get some horizontal shots, some close-ups, some far away, until I've got a really nice collection of images that I've gotten from this cake. But now here's where the problem comes in, because I've done all the shooting here on my laptop, but I wanna do everything over on my desktop, all of those final edits. I've got a bigger monitor over there, more powerful CPU, but as you might already be thinking, wait a minute, those computers aren't connected. We're not syncing in Lightroom via those, because I'm using Lightroom CC Classic, or if you're a Photoshop editor, those two computers aren't talking to each other. So what's the solution? So the first step to streamlining this process and ensuring that the images that are here on this computer end up on this computer over here is having some sort of storage device that can go between the two of them. So for some folks, that's going to be an external hard drive that plugs in via USB. When you're done on the one computer, then you hop on over to the other and plug it in over there. That's a solution certainly you can use. Or the other option is some sort of network attached storage device, or some sort of ability to network the computers together, so that, for example, here at our house, we have a Synology disk station. And that's wirelessly networked to both computers. And so when I am dropping the files here and I hit that shutter button and it automatically drops the files somewhere, it's putting them on that disk station that's actually also networked to this computer. Now, again, that's kind of like a 2.0, more advanced, that if you have a techie guru in your life who can help you set something like that up, that's a great solution. Definitely makes life easier. But again, an external hard drive is also a great solution too. But now here's where the bigger problem is that, okay, maybe we're able to get those image files from this computer over to this computer without too much headache, import them into Lightroom. But then when you import them into Lightroom, they don't include the edits that you made over when we were doing the actual shoot. You remember I was making those adjustments? Well, those adjustments didn't follow the image. And so that's when this magical little file called an XMP file comes in to save the day. And this is a setting that we can select in Lightroom, just one single button, that then creates this little additional file that goes along with that image file, right? So if you've got raw files, whatever you're shooting, that it will then generate this additional little file full of data. It's teeny tiny, very small, but it contains all of the image's metadata, as well as then all of those editing changes that you made. So if we are generating XMP files over on the one computer, then when we upload everything imported into Lightroom on the other computer, and that XMP file is there, it will tell the system, it will tell the editing software, here's all the edits we made over here, they will follow, and life is so much easier. So how do we turn on these amazing XMP files? Very easily. We hop over here into the main menu of Lightroom Classic, and we go down into our catalog settings. And you want to make sure that you're on the metadata tab here. And so maybe you're thinking of metadata and thinking of your copyright. If you're not thinking copyright when you think metadata, definitely check out the video from Flern down below. This is going to really help to ensure the security and safety of your images. But in the meantime, as far as the XMP file goes, what we want to make sure is this little box right here in the editing section automatically write changes into XMP. And so what you'll see is when you go into the folder where all of your images live that you're shooting from this particular shoot, that all of a sudden it'll start to generate these .xmp files. That's that little data file. So when we get over this computer and we import those files, Lightroom knows that, okay, we've got, you know, the raw file, but then this is the XMP file. Those go together because they're named the same. It matches them up. And all of a sudden, all those edits that we made over here are now over here. But of course, this is not the only implication for XMP files. They're super helpful if you're ever working between different softwares. Even if you're working over in Capture One and you want the metadata to follow over there, it will follow. As well as if you're working with a retoucher or you're working with somebody else and you want to be able to send them the edits of a raw file, this is a super easy way to do it. And so one little button can completely streamline your workflow. Now, if you want more videos like this, be sure to hit the thumbs up and also hit that subscribe button. And I look forward to coming back and hanging out with you next week. So with that, you stay out of trouble. I'll see you soon, all right? Bye.